Hello, everybody. This is Mike Pucciarelli, Creative Still Life YouTube, Mike Pucciarelli YouTube channel. And tonight, I'll be talking about Photoshop tricks for quick processing. You get a frame like this, mirror reflections, frames, also the background. They'll be talking about actions and a whole brand new set of actions that involve design. There's an action for this. This is a special frame. I'll do a new screen share. So we're in Adobe Photoshop where um, we're be talking about we're talking about AI because artificial intelligence, where this is called the conceptual taskbar. It's up here. You can pin it, you can hide it, you can unpin it. You can have more properties. And the way AI works is I'm going to put a red leaves, and I'm going to click generate. And this, where if I like what I see, I like the first one better. So, and then if when I click on more, I can do more. So these are all the variations. And every time you click generate, you generate new things. Another way to use AI is you click generate. You want this to go away, you don't fill in the prompts. If you have 12, you can also do it with, content aware fill and click OK. It becomes a separate layer. Now, now we're going to talk about, adjustments where in these are, the presets. You want to make sure the adjustments, suppose you wanted to bring it up more, want to make sure the adjustments, if you want to save it, where, if I were to go like this, there. Now, what I did was I created one I use all the adjustment layers. Where I just, use them all. And I could use them all. And so what I'm going to try to do, whoops, where I'm on the adjustments where, um, we could save it, but you could also, we can import it. We could just, and then you click OK, and then it'll show up in here. And now we're going to talk about other actions that I've developed. Let's see. Talk about some, frames. And we're talking a lot about frame styles where I'm just using the level emboss, and I'm just using the stroke, and I'm just using the color overlay. This is just, the effects. I'm using the color overlay, inner shadow. I'm using the stroke, level emboss. And if I don't like it, I could just disable the effect. I could put it back in. And there's another frame where this is going to go, to filter. Whoops, render picture frame. And that's how I got this. That's how I got this. And it changes, and then click OK. This is in the action, and then this. Basically the same idea where we have level emboss, we have stroke, so, effects, layer styles and effects. Layer styles are great with frames. And then, when suppose I run an action and I want to just delete a layer. That's why you can just click the action, or you can just go delete. But it's in the action, so it's quicker. Now, convert the smart object. Talking a lot about this, I already have. I made a copy of this and I turned this into smart object where, whoops, okay, whoops. Control J. where, and it's called Convert to Smart Objects. Where I can put a filter in, Gaussian blur, where, so it's non-destructive editing. Can have two adjustments. I suppose that under Control J, I'm going to convert this to Smart Object. I'm going to say duplicate the layer. We have two that I want to go edit, and like rotate it there. You can edit it. You just you can keep. Let's see, image. You can flip. You can click, enter. Where, let's see. And then I just want to do edit, where if I want to put edit, I have two adjustments. And if I want to, let's see, image levels. You can also turn this into a layer mask. There we go. So, this is like the way to use two smart objects to get the reflection. Shift 12. Black and white where I want to put black in a photograph. You do anything you like. Then we can also, then I'm going to do this is, so I made menu actions to make it quicker. Now I'm going to bring up, um, a new file for, now we're going to talk about, design where I use, you know, these shapes. I also use, the type layer. So basically is if I, these are different, these is randomly drawn. And I would just do shift in this here, where, because I can affect them as a unit. Where, I'm just modifying this. I'm just doing, making sure of this. I'm doing alter option, alter option. I'm just modifying, one thing. Over here, I shift and I select all this, I put it in a group. Now it's one unit. Where I'm going to do something else with ovals, right? The only thing I'm doing now, I'm just getting this and duplicating it 3 times. And this has layer styles. I'm using stroke. I'm using this. And drop shadow, right? So these all, so then if you go to layer, layer style, copy layer style, layer style, paste layer style. So I'm just copying and pasting the same layer style. There. And then, I can do shift where if I just want to, and I could just, I can do it like this. These are Easter bunny eggs. I'm just, drawing triangles. I can change the color. And shift. So I can move it around. I'm gonna go like this, I'm gonna go like this, and I want to do Control G. And make sure you select all your group objects. So basically, I'm just duplicating the type layer. I'm just I'm using the pointer object. I'm using the Alt command. I'm just going to drag it. So just duplicate it, and I select them all and I put them in a group. And this, I'm just, I could just, I could do shift. Same idea where I'm just, it has to be a different size. And I can change the color. And I just, and I put them in a group. Same thing where I'm just duplicating it and I make it smaller. And then I put them in a group. Where, I could just alternate colors. Now we're going to talk about, filters. Well, actually, I got more shapes to do. For these alternate colors, I could change the colors. I could put them, groups. Change the color. Oh, okay. We'll see. I can do it like this. Or I can just, affect it as a group. And I can just duplicate the group. Well, I gotta go done first. I can just, duplicate the group. And I'm just getting the oval over here. And I'm just alternating the color. And I'm going like this. So this is, I can move it, or well, I can change the opacity. Again, this is just the rectangular marquee. I can change the color. I can change the color again. I like grayscale. I like grayscale. And then, I could just do the shift. Okay. Now we're going to do this. This is where we create a smart object where I would do, I would say convert the smart object, but I already did that. And then this is where you could just half tone, we could do line, dot, circle. We do a frame. The way to do a frame is like this. I'm gonna turn this into layer mask. Push the Alt option to the thing down here. That's what I do a frame. And I'm using the filter gallery, smart filter, to convert a smart object, and I can make this bigger. I can change the pattern. I can change the line circle, and I'm going to keep it at dot. And I could run the frame action, or I could just, you know, mask what I want to see, you know? Same thing. And I'll use some noise where if I click on monochromatic, it takes away the color. If I uncheck it, I want to create a nice little frame. Control delay mask. I also run my frame. This is basically half thin padded circle. I also turn it into a frame. Oh, whoopsie. Forgot to use my rectangular marquee. Very important, you know? Got to draw what I want to see. The frame, you know? There's a cool background where, you know, if you want to just, if you're in the background, you can change your background. Turn this into a frame. You can also do it like that. And you can turn in, you know, you can it's using a filter. It's using this. You can do a lot of cool stuff. You can also, you know, turn it into a frame. Mayor basket. You can also run the frame action where I could modify the frame. This is the clouds. Going through variations. Let's put a quick frame. I can run the frame action. Same idea. Fiber background, right? And this is using the fiber where you can randomize. You can also, you know, create a cool frame. Push the Alt option, the thing down over here, the mask thing over there, or you can just, you know, fiber frame. Same idea. Whoops, whoops, whoops. So now, so this is a color halftone. Yeah, I'm gonna Now I'm going to start with the top of the actions, then I'll get into another action that deals with the front. Where you want to just put Control G. Back up that what? Hey, maybe I won't. I'm gonna remember this. Change the color. This is just grabbing a triangle. Where you can go to the properties. You can play around with the angle. Basically, it's the oval, and I'm just using the effects like this one. I'm using the stroke where, and if I want to copy the layer style, I just go layer, copy layer style, then layer, paste layer style. Layer style, then paste. This is memory, right? I'm just copying all the layer cells to make them the same thing. Then I do shift and I go like this. I go like that. So now and you can change the opacity. Okay. What I think I'm doing is this thing up here, right? I'm just duplicating this rectangle. I have my pointer thing here. I alter the option, and I could change the color. I could alter the color. Where I can go, like this. I go shift and like this. Now it's a unit. That's why I group them. So actions again. Same thing over here. Where I just, I'm gonna do shift, and change the color. Mhm. Okay. So we can just, now I'm gonna go back into frames where that's a clouded frame. Now, and this over here, I'm just using the size to get what I like. I'm just really modifying one property. On the wrong layer. And make sure you're on the smart object layer to affect the edge. And this, I can move it around. Affecting the edge with the stroke. I'm just using one layer style stroke. And I'm just, using the distance, well, really the size, but I'm just working on one layer style, the drop shadow. I'm gonna do it a few more times. Let's see. Where if I want to go here, if I want to go here, I'm using the outer glow. I'm working the size. And make sure that you're on the smart object for this to work. Anything we're doing to move it around. Keystroke. And so I go like this. for the edges. The, I think that concludes the Photoshop demo. So now I'm going to bring a new screen share, my Fahrenheit site, where I have an Instagram for all types of photography. I have a YouTube. Where um, I have landscape playlists, I have equipment and still life and light painting, equipment and still life in all kinds. I have a separate light painting playlist, a separate black plexiglass playlist. I have Adobe software in all still life. And then I also have a white plexiglass. And I have ebooks where I have a light painting ebook. I have a black plexiglass ebook. I also have a white, black. I also have a bigger one with all three, but I'm working on the second edition. You go over here. They have some groups where this is my fine art group. Here's my still life group. It grows every day. Over 2,000 members. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chat, I'm going to type in my email address. M. Pucciarelli, art2016 at gmail.com, and my fine art site. Many ways you can interact with me. Instagram, the site has many ways this site, you can contact me in many ways. So thank you for listening to this webinar. Maybe consider liking and subscribing if you find this interesting. So thank you for listening. I'll post the recording.